Welcome back. You're watching To The Point. The collapse of the BJP-Shiv Sena alliance is clearly the big story of the day, and many believe it could, in fact, it already has, forgive me, because that's been happening as we've been on a herald the break of the Congress-NCP alliance as well. Now the situation is, in fact, intriguing. Some would say very exciting. Both the major alliances in Maharashtra have completely collapsed, and we're going to have, at least as far as the four big parties are concerned, a four-way contest. And if you add the MNS to that, a very interesting five-way contest. What does this mean for Maharashtra politics? What does it mean for the four parties? What does it mean for the Shiv Sena and the Thackeray family? And of course, what does it mean for Mr. Modi's government? Those are the key questions that we shall try and answer in the next few minutes. My guests are the highly regarded Mint columnist Akar Patel, the well-known Asian Age columnist Siddharth Bhatia, the associate editor of The Hindu Smita Gupta, and joining us by phone, I hope, the well-known senior journalist Kumar Ketkar. Siddharth Bhatia, first of all, let me ask you a key question. Many people thought that this was a game of posturing between the BJP and the Shiv Sena. We went through a period 2 days ago when they were about to collapse. Yesterday they looked as if they were going to survive. Then they went back to a point of collapse. And people said, this is just jockeying, this is just posturing. They're not going to fall apart. And now they have fallen apart. So are you surprised, or did you actually anticipate this?
No, I must confess I did not anticipate this. It is a little surprising because it is an alliance which has held true for 25 years. More important, this was their golden opportunity, to capture power again. But it is, in a sense, looking back, it's a kind of a black swan event because the BJP wants now their man as chief minister. They think that they have shown their mettle. Their strike rate in Maharashtra is extremely good. And under Amit Shah, they do not have any kind of compunctions about making their wishes known. The Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray personally has thrown his hat into the ring. He wants to be chief minister, and he felt that he was being pushed into a corner. And if he gave away too many seats, then there was no chance that he would ever become the chief minister. So, looking back, yes, I can see the reasons. There is one more dimension to this whole thing. There are political ambitions, of course, but there's one more dimension, and there is the lack of chemistry. And in the olden days, Shiv Sena and BJP used to sit over a cup of tea and sort these things out. This time, there's absolutely zero chemistry. So Amit Shah is not very interested in Uddhav Thackeray personally. Uddhav Thackeray finds that he, being the lord and master of Maharashtra and Bombay, certainly, is being taken very, very lightly. So yes, that it's like a marriage that was, there was a bit of bickering and it was heading for a collapse.
Kumar Ketkar, I heard you on television earlier today saying you're going to stick your neck out, and you said the two, the BJP Shiv Sena, will stick together. I don't know what your feeling about NCP-Congress was, because I never heard you comment on that. But they have collapsed as well. Now we have, in fact, the four big parties, each fighting each other. Did you really anticipate that the alliances would completely fall apart in this way?
Well, actually, you are absolutely right. If I had taken a bet, I would have miserably lost. Because I did not imagine that they would be so unreasonable, despite having no ideological tie-up as such. Because BJP and Sena will now have to together contest something like close to 600 seats, 288 seats each. And each candidate requires minimum 100 supporters, activists. And each election, we know, each election requires minimum of rupees 5 crores if I have to take the figure from late Gopinath Munde. So imagine 300 into 5, 1500 crores for Shiv Sena, 300 into 5, 1500 crores for BJP. I thought that was too much of a call. Candidates, activists, they don't have even enough number of candidates, 288 each. They don't have that candidate, they don't have activist support, they don't have that much money because most of the money was busted in the Lok Sabha election. So I thought my merely simple bet was that they will realize that it is absolutely impossible to govern and conduct the election with such a low level of activist support, such a low level of candidate base, and such a low level of finance that is available. Most of the finance will go down to BJP rather than to Shiv Sena because BJP is is in the national government. So I thought that actually the kind of sanity kind of economic sanity, political sanity, and organizational sanity will prevail. That has not prevailed. And as Siddharth just now said, it was nothing but a play of egos, play of ambition, and a play of identity politics. Nothing more than that.
Akar Patel, we now have a new reality. The four parties are going their separate ways, whether it's ego, whether it's insanity, whatever explanation, everyone will obviously have their own answer. But which party benefits the most from these four-way splits that have happened? Would you agree it's the BJP?
Without a question. I would say that Congress would benefit the most from being losers till yesterday, or maybe even a few hours back. They're back in the race, and I think that it would be monumentally stupid of the Congress to waste this opportunity and let the NCP go. I think they ought to compromise on a few seats and partner the NCP to what would be almost a certain win. I think if the BJP and the Sena don't fight together, the Congress has lost the state only once, and that's in '95. It's a state where it has very good leaders, it's funded properly, it has phenomenal infrastructure at the grassroots. Even in the state where it is today at the center, it stands a chance of coming back in Maharashtra. It will not get this sort of opportunity in too many states. I think they ought to swallow their pride and partner with the NCP. I think the big loser...
But can I interrupt you there?
Sena.
You say they should swallow their pride and partner with the NCP, but I believe while we were on air doing our first show on a different subject, NCP has announced the end of that alliance, so it's a bit too late to swallow their pride.
Well, I think nominations can still be filed till day after tomorrow. There is always time to reach out, and I've not heard the Gandhis say much on this. I think this is the time for them to go to somebody who's been one of their best partners, I would say.
You're saying, in other words, the Congress should think again. You're saying they should think again because I think it should.
Yeah, I think from certain defeat they have some modicum of a chance, and I think it would be daft of them to throw it away now.
Except that politicians are often daft when they can't see their own interest staring them in the face. But leave that aside. Let's not bring humor into this. Smita Gupta, where does this leave the Shiv Sena, and in particular, where does it leave Uddhav Thackeray? He clearly lacks the magnetism and appeal of his father. Now he's going to be fighting an ally of 25 years in the elections. Does the Shiv Sena and Uddhav Thackeray find themselves staring at abyss in the face?
Yeah, I think for both the alliances, the breakup will be, the cost will be quite heavy, because all the logic would have suggested that that alliances would work better for both parties.
But where does it leave Uddhav Thackeray in particular? Focus on Uddhav Thackeray.
Extremely bad.
Focus on Uddhav Thackeray in the SS. Where does it leave them in particular?
Uddhav Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray lacks the charisma of his father, Bal Thackeray. And the Shiv Sena is not quite the party it was under his father. There's Raj Thackeray, who will be, even if he's just a spoiler. Now it would appear that if the four parties contest separately, Shiv Sena might come third, with the BJP and the NCP ahead, So I think the Shiv Sena has really also miscalculated, because Uddhav Thackeray simply doesn't have that kind of charisma to carry this election through.
Kumar Kirkar, a very quick question, because we're running out of time at 9 o'clock. I'm afraid we have to go live to America. There's also that big summit in America that we're beginning to prepare ourselves for. But a quick question to you. Do you think that now that the Shiv Sena and BJP have parted company, if the BJP ends up single biggest but short of a majority, the two can get back together? Or do you think that during the course of the campaign there'll be so much enmity between the two as they inevitably target each other that maybe Mr. Modi might look to Mr. Pawar for an ally and support? And would Mr. Pawar be willing to reciprocate?
Well, two things are absolutely clear. Nobody will have an absolute number of 145, which is required out of 288. Nobody will have. The question is, who is the largest? The question is also, who will go with him in that kind of situation? I will not be surprised again if BJP and Sena come together, smile at each other, distribute penas and say, well, our quarrel is over now. People have democratically elected BJP and democratically independently elected Sena. Our objective was same, to overthrow Congress and NCP. So we can come together now with the saffron banner. So that kind of situation I don't rule out. Just as I do not rule out NCP joining Shiv Sena, not BJP initially, NCP joining Shiv Sena, if the so-called the regional factors emerge as the most dominant factors. Finally, NCP will keep its option open, even to go with BJP, because NCP is like a joker in the pack. They can fit into any sequence in the game of rummy.
You know, Sir Bhatia, this is beginning to feel like one of those games of musical chairs. You suddenly sit down in front of the chair that's in front of you when the music stops, not knowing who it will be sitting on either side of you. Do you think this is becoming a somewhat mystifying election for the people of Maharashtra, or is it just very exciting and unpredictable?
Well, it's certainly exciting for analysts, journalists, and a lot of others, but it is mystifying because the people of Maharashtra gave a thundering response to the BJP and the Shiv Sena both in the Lok Sabha elections. There is anger at the NCP and the Congress government. At the very least, there is fatigue. And there are all these allegations of scams and irrigation scam, Adarsh, etc. So there was this golden chance these two had. When you look back over the last 30 days, you'll realize that this is, they've just let this opportunity go. So I feel that in certain places, people might show their disgust and actually vote somebody that they didn't intend to vote for. So people will kind of, see, the Shiv Sena and the BJP are going to cancel each other out in a lot of places. And the NCP and the Congress are going to cancel each other out. So people will start showing their disgust and I think vote for the candidates, except in pocket boroughs. Okay. Like Bombay is a pocket borough for Shiv Sena in many ways, Western Maharashtra for the Congress. The BJP is kind of expanding. It's still not all over the state. As Kumar said, they don't have candidates. Okay. So it is letting down the people of Maharashtra, quite honestly. I mean, this is all I can say as a citizen of the state.
Akar Patel, we're really running out of time. I'm going to ask you for a very short answer. Do you think that at the end of the day, and this is perhaps an impression in Delhi, but it may not be the right one, do you think at the end of the day, the Shiv Sena and the Thackeray family will emerge as the biggest losers? You heard Smita predict that the Shiv Sena may be just third.
They will have their tough call, they will lose. They are not a conventional party. They're a party that doesn't have a proper caste base. The Thackerays are CKP, Chandrasenia, Kayasa Prabhu, very small, insignificant minority there. They don't even have manifestos normally. They're a party that has hung on to the coattails of the BJP long enough. This kind of arrogance, demanding 150 seats and losing out on it, I think will show the Thackerays their place, and about time too.
All right. I'm afraid we've run right out of time. We are going to have to end this particular discussion there. My apologies both to my guests and to the audience for a second truncated discussion. But in fact, we now have to go to a special program from America. As you know, this channel, like many others, is preparing for that big visit. Prime Minister Modi left today for Washington. He arrives there tomorrow. And now the focus of Indian attention is going to be on New York and then Washington. So my apologies for this truncated show. But we'll have a special one-hour ourselves tomorrow at this time on the Modi visit. Join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock. But for tonight, goodbye, good night.